EA Sports and the United States Golf Association are proud to present a national championship. Today, it's live third-round coverage of the United States Open Championship. It is one of the most difficult golf courses in the United States, Oakmont Country Club outside Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Hello again and welcome. Rich Stoner alongside Frank Nobilo, who was a part of that dramatic U.S. Open in 1994 at Oakmont, ultimately won by Ernie Els. Frank, when you think of Oakmont, what comes to mind?
The difficulty of the golf course, Rich. I know a lot's changed over the last 20 or so years. A lot of the trees have been removed. But really, that wasn't the story of Oakmont. It's the slick greens, how firm and fast they can be. The members there, for example, they marvel at the fact that people think they're fast. They say we putt on these greens every single day and they're certainly no slower. But it's the bunkering as well. There's 210 bunkers here. They're all in play. And it just has that history. When you step on Oakmont, you just know you are walking on not one of the great courses in North America, but one of the great courses in golf.
Chance for birdie after that beautiful shot. Boy, this could be a tough one right here, Frank.
It's a very long putt, Rich. Obviously, it's difficult, but he still has a shot to sink this one for birdie.
Did a nice job with that putt. Good read, good speed. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. Well, that was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
Sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
That's a bogey, but still in the lead.
We start to see shots in hand really valuable.
Well, the par 5 12th here at Oakmont is no cupcake. It measures in at 667 yards.
There's something about a well-hit shot. That's a ginormous tee shot.
Playing his second shot here at the par 5.
This is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Getting set for this next shot from the rough, what does the player need to be careful of here, Frank?
Well, this is where we're going to see exactly how good they are because, that's not exactly the best lie, but it's sort of doable if you know what you're doing.
Well, Frank, obviously way too much club there.
You've got to think something like that, or at least misread the wind. This is never going to sit down.
Made a par in his previous round. This time, it's for birdie. Good try, just didn't quite read the break, Frank.
It shouldn't be a problem, you'd think, cleaning up here for par.
Good roll. Solid. That's a par. Coverage continues at EA Sports. Let's go out now to our featured golfer at the 13th. Coming unglued here late in the third round. This is tough to watch.
Get the staple gun out. Somehow try and pin things back together. I think it'll be too late, though.
Frank, it hit the green, but just didn't have enough backspin.
You wonder what he's thinking on that.
So in the first cut here, it could be worse. And that one lands in the first cut, Frank.
Interesting choice coming ahead here. It'll be interesting to see how he reads this lie.
All right, now.
Yeah, this time better be better than the one we just saw.
And he's made the green. Settles in over the putt. Yeah, that really hurts, Frank, missing the bogey putt.
Yeah, now time to get the handkerchief. Double bogey coming up.
Doing what needs to be done. You need to make them from that distance. The reason Oakmont has hosted so many U.S. Opens, Frank, as you well know, is it has a really good blend of holes. And now we come to a short par for it, 358 yards, the 14th.
You can see the predicament in front of you, bunkers left and right. But really the bonus here is if you can get the ball on the fairway with just something like a long on off the tee, this is one of your best scoring opportunities at Oakmont.
Not the best shot, this one in the rough, but still will have a play from there. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Well, that's what separates the good players from the great players, the ability to get it that close from that kind of lie. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. Frankie took plenty of time on this birdie putt. He looked at it from 3 different angles. He forgot one very important ingredient.
Yeah, pace. You can definitely fall in love with the line, even with approach shots as well, but obviously we see it more on putting.
Nothing wrong with that par putt. Well, this is a good U.S. Open par for it. 499 yards. The 15th is one of the better holes in the course, Frank.
It is. The shape of the tee shot you think would suit a cut, but because the fairway slopes quite severely to the right, really it needs a draw just to work its way against that slope and somehow keep it on the straight and narrow.
He knew it right away. Picked up the tee, didn't even look at it. We can see it. It's perfect. Right down the middle of the fairway. Second shot. Good look at the green. Good looking shot right here. Well, that's how you play the game. Right there. Getting set now over the putt. Racking them and stacking them. That's 12 under par now for the tournament. There you have it. Round 3 is finished, and it was a good one, Frank.
Yeah, after 3 rounds in, you really could start to see who could take home the trophy when it's all said and done. Great play, though, up until this point. Round 4 should be an absolute thriller.
EA Sports and the United States Golf Association, a national championship. Today, it's live final round coverage of the United States Open Championship. It is known as one of the toughest golf courses in the world. And today we're here in western Pennsylvania at Oakmont Country Club. Originally opened in 1903 and designed by Henry Phones, it features over 200 bunkers and slick, undulating greens. It asks a lot of a player in every aspect of the game. It is a fitting venue for the U.S. Open Championship, the final round. Take a look now at the 10th hole, Frank. Par 4, 462 yards.
Yeah, this one can play a lot of different distances. And the reason why is if you can sneak a driver to catch the downslope, it can run all the way down. You can have just a wedge in here. You're not as fortunate you leave it hanging up on that hill. It plays a good 200 yards for your second.
Frank, that's as good as I have seen all day long.
I think we've got to blame that on the weather. That weather, the wind had to help that ball give it another 20, 30 yards.
Nice play right there. That's in pretty close. Par yesterday. Now for birdie.
Well, we'll never know if that had gone in because it never made it.
This one just requires a little bit of focus. They'll take it. That's a par. Par 4 11th is 379 yards as we continue the backside here at the U.S. Open at Oakmont. Frank, what's the strategy off the tee here?
You're hitting something that goes about 240, 250 yards maximum, hopefully keeping it out of that right rough. And the reason why that right rough is certainly to be avoided is that big gaping bunker at the front of this green. Green's perched up a little bit, so this is another one where if you can hit an iron or a utility club off the tee, you must find the fairway. Not too bad. It's about 23 feet away.
He didn't hit the flagstick, but he still has a chance. Birdie chance here. Very long putt, though.
Got to be a little careful if it gets away on him.
That had to really hurt, Frank, because it looked good all the way.
Well, this will test his mettle.
Nudge this one home, finish it up. He's made it. Well, Frank, the par 5 12th here at Oakmont, it's a lot of golf hole at 667 yards.
It's the hardest par 5 that I've ever seen or played that doesn't have water. It starts with that tee shot. The whole fairway slopes left to right. Just to get the ball on the fairway, you've got to draw the ball against the slope. The same problem exists with the second and the third shot.
Great lie, and what a great shot. He has really hit it a long way. Going with the lob wedge here.
Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like.
Well, Mr. Ball does not meet Mr. Fairway. It's off, off, off. Rough.
He'll need to be strong with this. Seems to like it. Headed for the fat part of the green. And it makes the green in regulation. Little redemption chance here. Had bogey yesterday. Frank, that's what you want to do. Good lag putt.
Yeah, they can't all go in.
Really not much to this. The only issue would be a lack of concentration or focus. So early on the backside here at the 12th hole, missed opportunity. This hole is playing tough. Bogey here yesterday, now looking at bogey again.
Now, in this situation, Richard, bogey's not all that bad. Still has the lead.
Pushing our way into this back nine, we arrive at the par 3 13th. It's 183 yards. That's one of the more depressing sights in golf. You've hit a good one, and then it just sucks back too much spin off the green. Good thing he stayed in the first cut, because just a couple of feet over, that rough is really deep. Frank, not close, but from that lie, not bad.
Oh, that's excellent. Seriously, given the conditions, Rich. It's that sneaky distance.
Well, considering the lead that he has on the rest of the field, a par is all you need. Rich Lerner alongside Frank Novello. We're at the 14th hole at Oakmont Country Club. Frank, it's only 358 yards. How good is the scoring opportunity here?
This is certainly one of the best chances on the back nine here for birdie, that's for sure, Rich. Just a long iron off the tee there, threaded in between bunkers that are doing both sides of this fairway. To set up to what you would say on Oakmont standards is a relatively gentle green.
No fairway here, this one in that rough. Second shot coming out of the rough here. Oh, can't hide the flagstick from that man. So a tester from 4 feet. Pretty much doing everything right this week. 11 under for the tournament. All teed up at the 15th. It's a par 4 of 499 yards. Good contact, good result. Frank, if you win a U.S. Open, it says plainly You were one of the tough guys, that you had, as they say, the intestinal fortitude to handle the most difficult golf courses under the most extreme pressure.
Yeah, and I think that really does define certainly a multiple US Open champion, because you can do anything once, but I think the Hale Irwins of the world, whose all his majors were US Opens, even Lee Jansen, who won 2 US Opens, they're gritty. Trevino's the same. I remember in the playoff with Jack Nicklaus at Miriam when he threw the rubber snake down there, and you thought, well, why would you dare do that to one of the great players of all time? And anything to get a slight edge, because you knew the golf course itself was going to beat you up. It was going to take every ounce of your golfing acumen to get around there. So you needed any edge you could against the great players that you're playing against.
Just a tap in to finish the hole. Beautiful stroke right there. Finds the bottom of the cup with ease. Yet another demanding hole here at Oakmont. The par 3 16th, 231-yard par 3. Frank calls for a well-struck long iron.
It certainly does. It's going to favor something that's hit a little higher and a little softer. If you could just mentally cut this green in half and just sort of look at the left half of this green, that's really the best way to play this hole. And the reason why is the general contours all move to the right. That ball can still funnel down to the right side of the green.
See if you can get this one to drop here at the 16th for a birdie.
It's no snack, though.
Well, that was a good-looking putt, just not falling right now.
No, sadly, he's going to be disappointed.
Locked in on the read and the speed. Workmanlike hole. He walks away with a par. Coming down to the wire here at the U.S. Open Championship at fabled Oakmont, and the tension's starting to build. And Frank, this is decision time at this very short 313-yard par 4.
And normally in a U.S. Open, Rich, you'd think the prudent play would be lay it up, but I kind of like driver here today. I think the worst you're going to do is just miss the green or hit it in one of those pot bunkers. You perhaps could drive it on the green, be putting for eagle, but even out of one of those bunkers, you've got to think you're even money to get it up and down. I like driver here.
That one is in the fairway, down there about 290 yards. Well, Frank, as we look at this approach shot here at the 17th, the execution has to be absolutely precise, doesn't it?
There might be harder wedge shots in the game, but a 17th hole in a U.S. Open, right now, I can't think of one.
Terrific golf shot. And now, that for an easy birdie. See if he can go one better than yesterday when he made par. This putt for birdie. Racking him and stacking him. That's 12 under par now for the tournament. Here we are at the 18th at Oakmont. Clubhouse straight ahead. Frank, I distinctly remember the 2007 U.S. Open Championship of the final round, and Angel Cabrera, the big Argentinian, with the pressure bearing down, stepped up and absolutely piped a tee shot right down the throat. And I know to this day he thinks it's one of the great shots he's ever hit.
Yeah, I get the odds. Golf ball is 1.68 inches in diameter. Fairway's 30 yards wide. Ball should fit easily, right? But when you look at it off the back of this tee with bunkers left and right, it does not look like it's that easy, that's for sure.
Appears to be what they call a commercial play. Very solid. Well, that's how you play the game. Right there. It has come down to this: to win the U.S. Open. Good putt. U.S. Open victory.